What's going on? Welcome back to the 10K to $2 million funding challenge with Venator Trading. It's Monday, October the 2nd. So happy to say October. So glad to see August and September to get out of here. Welcome back. Hope you guys had a great weekend out there. Hope you got to get outside, get some sun, enjoy creation a little bit, enjoy your family, your loved ones, found something to do that was not trading. It's so important for our psyche and our mindset not to be staring at charts all the time, back testing 100% of the time. It's just, you just need to take a break. And so I hope you got a few hours away from the charts that was productive and healthy and helpful for you. But we're glad to be back in the tree stand. We're back in hunting A-plus trophy buck setups. We'll see what we see, and we'll trade what we trade. If it fits the plan, if it checks off all the boxes, we're taking the trades. And if it doesn't, we're happy to sit here and do nothing. Just enjoy the view, watch candles print, watch the market move, and learn what we can learn as we go. So shout out to our stream sponsors, Bespoke Funding Program. They are the best in the business right now, no doubt. And if you would like to purchase a challenge as we start the last quarter of the year, October, November, and December, use that discount code Venator. You get 15% off any challenge and 85% a lifetime profit split on that account. So take advantage of that. It does help support the stream. Everything that we do here, we do for free. We are here every day to help you become a better trader and become a profitable trader. Move into the professional level of trading. And a lot of that just takes mindset, psychology, managing your emotions. You'll learn a lot about how I trade, but hopefully it's just more about what it actually takes to sit down every day and open the charts, deal with the emotions and the pain and the turmoil that you feel inside of yourself when you're watching price move, and overcome that and hopefully capitalize and become the best version of yourself that you can be. So welcome in, guys. We're back at it. So we still have our 100K phase one challenge. It is in 9% drawdown. We are very, very close to breaching that final 1%. And if we do, then we'll have to completely reload and start back with our 10K. We had if you're just joining the stream, you can go check the playlist. But we've done over 100 days of trading. We had a 10K account with the original challenge. We passed phase one and phase two in just a couple weeks. We got funded. Got to a payout. We bought another 10K account. We got a payout. We bought this 100K account. And then we've been in drawdown for a couple months and have failed to pull out of that. We lost that funded account last week. And now we're just trying to get this 100K back out of drawdown a little bit. So we will trade 1%. We will stick to the plan. And I'm going to trade 1%. So I will use the last $1,116.55 on our next trade setup. And it will work or it won't. And we'll see what happens. So looking for a good setup. Euro dollar already. I've identified a nice little setup here. We'll see what kind of pullback we can get, if any, back up into this 30-minute breaker block. On the 1 hour, it looks really nice here. You can see we ran old highs. I'm anticipating Friday's high to stay in place. Right. I think that was, Friday's high. Anticipating that to stay in place, and I just want to continue to see it move lower. We've been bullish dollar for a long time, and we remain bullish dollar until something tells us otherwise. You can see on the daily time frame here, Thursday and Friday last week, we pulled back into this daily fair value gap, inverted. retested those relative equal highs that we had taken out, and it rejected off of those pretty aggressively. And now we're moving back up. I still anticipate the dollar to fill in completely this first monthly sell side imbalance right here between the low here in September and the high here in December of last year. This was 2022. I'm still anticipating the dollar to come up and run into that. We've closed above these highs, so our first level of interest is last month's high right there. So this is target number one, is last month's high. So I think we're going to take that out here probably this week. It wouldn't surprise me if we do that. And then our objective turns to filling in the remainder of that imbalance, and then this weekly swing high level over here up into a larger weekly sell side imbalance. Anyway, there's just a lot of still upside targets. You look at this and you're just like, how can this happen? When is it going to turn around? Well, you don't know. And so stop trying to call the top and just ride the train until it tells you when it wants to turn around. It's pretty insane, the strength of the dollar over the last, since the middle of July. Just since the Monday, July 17th, nothing but weekly bullish price action on the daily. There have been a few small retracements, but on the weekly, we've had no retracement. I mean, we grabbed this sell side liquidity and immediately displaced higher. So what does that tell you? Well, that tells you there's some breaker blocks in here that we could potentially see price support once it comes back down into it. But that's a long way away from where we are right now. Where we are right now is just still in a bull rush, man. I mean, we're just in a complete bull rush. Any liquidity that's grabbed is displacing higher. Rebalancing of fair value gaps, displacing higher. So our attention turns to last month's high and last week's high as our first run of liquidity targets there. We've grabbed sell side here last Friday. We're displacing higher. So it's reaching inside this small little fair value gap currently on DXY. But I'm still anticipating last week's high to get ripped through at some point. You've already had a nice breaker block set up over the opening on Sunday. London ripped down, grabbed some sell side. We've displaced higher. Beautiful little breaker block here that we could look for any pullbacks into this morning for potential buys up into that area. And it correlates beautifully with the pound dollar here. Beautiful little breaker block setup. We ran overnight highs, displaced lower. Nice fair value gap here on the 30-minute time frame, right inside on that breaker. I haven't set limit orders here. I'm just talking through it right now, but I might set a limit order here as we get into Monday. Euro dollar, very similar. Nice 1 hour breaker. We've ran old highs. We've displaced lower. The same targets, last month's low, last week's low, all in play. So any pullback we get up into these levels today, I would be looking for sells here. I don't know. It just may want to drop right here. And we may not get a chance to take any of those entries. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out. Pound yen also have a nice little breaker set up here on pound yen. We on the 30-minute time frame, you can see we ran back up into this order block. I would expect these lows down here. These you can see 4-hour swing lows here and daily swing levels down here. To get run on the 15-minute time frame, we ran old highs overnight in London. We've displaced lower. So any pullback up into about 50% of that breaker, I'd be looking to sell pound yen as well as we get into a market maker sell model here. Initially looking for these lows over here to get swept. But any pullback up into that, probably looking to sell pound yen as well. We need to get a new chat pair for the week, but we'll go ahead and dissect through dollar CAD for now. Same basic setup. We're bullish dollar. We've ran sell side liquidity. We've displaced higher. So any pullbacks into these breakers, into these fair value gaps, we could be looking for buys on dollar CAD here. US 30. I think US 30, I think the indices in general will be heading lower again this week. We've grabbed a buy side liquidity here. We're starting to displace lower. We've had a change of structure. So I would be anticipating, looks like a market maker sell model to me, where we would be looking for some of these lows here on the daily. These swing levels here would be where I would be looking at. On the S&P, same thing. You have this nice little fair value gap here with a volume imbalance. Would be looking to see if it wants to fill that in completely this week. If it gets back up above last week's high into this fair value gap, I would be looking for, this is a reversal area right here, back into just right inside that. It'd be an inverted fair value gap right here. So just above that high. If it does get back above last week's high, I would be looking to sell both the S&P and I think the NAS as well. Yes. NAS as well, I'd be looking to sell. Be interesting to see if it wants to get down there that week into this fair value gap here. But any pop back up into last week's highs, I would be looking to sell that. So that's kind of a quick little rundown on some of the pairs. We do need to get a new chat pair up for the week. We'll vote on that here in just a little bit. We do have some news. This week we've got not any news. Well, we have some ISM manufacturing coming out at 10 a.m. If there's a setup that we get in before then, that's fine. If we don't get a setup and I have, like, say, a limit order and it's not been triggered, I'll probably just cancel it before that news gets hit. Tomorrow we have JOLTS job openings for the dollar at 10 a.m. Wednesday, we have ADP non-farm employment change at 8:15 and some more ISM services PMI at 10. Thursday, we've got unemployment claims at 8:30. And then Friday, we have non-farm employment and unemployment rate all coming out Friday. So some smaller news events heading into Friday's non-farm payrolls. So, we'll try to take advantage and see what kind of move we can capture, but we're going to remain on that bearish train for foreign dollar pairs and just bullish DXY in general. So that's the moves I'm looking for as we head into this trading week. So let me jump over to the chat. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's see who is present for roll call today. Got filters, got coffee, got caffeine. Houston Astros, baby. Let's go. Division winners clinched over the weekend. Absolutely crushed it yesterday. We had clinched a playoff spot. Yesterday was the last regular season game, and on the last day of the season, we clinched the division. So for 7 years in a row, we've won the American League West. Just absolutely, which is quite astounding since we had never, I think there was like 2 games that we had been in first place all year long. 2 games that we have ever been in first place, and it came down to the last game. The Texas Rangers lost. The Houston Astros won against their perspective games. They weren't playing each other, but in their respective games, the Rangers lost. Astros won. We clinch the division. We are the champs for the American League West for the 7th year in a row. So heading to the playoffs, we get a first round bye. We will get the winner of the Minnesota Twins versus the Toronto Blue Jays. So we'll see who takes that series. I think I would prefer the Twins over the Blue Jays, but it doesn't really matter. We have not been playing great this year. I don't know. Sometimes I think you watch your favorite teams play and you just can kind of get a vibe and a feeling about when they have it when they have that special it going on. And this year, it's just not been the Astros year. Like, you've watched them play, while their lineup is still built to win a championship, they have underperformed all year long. The pitching staff has underperformed. The offense has underperformed. The defense has been pretty stellar all year long. But yeah, I would not be surprised if they do not make a run in the playoffs this year. We're here. That's the most important thing. I know everything can change. They have a lot of playoff history. They're a stacked team. They've got all the experience in the world. So we'll see how that plays out as they head into the playoffs. If they can pull into the playoff magic hat and pull off one more magical run, that would be pretty sweet. So I'll keep you up to date, whether you want it or not. It's part of the stream because playoffs are here, baby. Let's go. John Jones, good morning. Welcome in, my friend. First in the chat, first to say hi. H, what's up? Cisco, Victor Niamo, Mr. Alfie, Alpha Bridge, Beeswax. Let's see who else is in here. Partha G, Adrian Joseph, Yashrathi, welcome in. Sharif Ashraf, Shadow Trades, all of you guys, welcome in. So glad you're here. If you're viewing and not in the chat, jump in and say hi. Let me know you're here. Would love to say good morning to you. What is going on? I'm a bit gutted. They're dropping 8 cap. I don't know. Are you talking about? Oh yeah, hit that like button for sure if you're jumping in. John says one of my daughters was able to come home on Friday from college. Had a really good time with her. That's so cool. My son from Austin surprised us yesterday, and actually I knew he surprised my wife. He had texted me Saturday night and said, "Hey, Dad, in town seeing one of my friends. We're going to swing by tomorrow after lunch." And so, which is really strange because literally right before he texted me and said he was going to swing by and surprise us, or surprise Mom, my wife. My wife had texted me not 10 minutes before, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I miss my 2 oldest. I haven't seen them in so long," because they don't live here. They live in Austin, and one lives in Dallas. And so she was, she had all the good tears crying out seeing him when he walked in the house. So when your kids go away, there's some joy when they go away, and there's some pain, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I miss my kids. I love my kids. And so when they come back and you get to spend time with them, it's special. So I'm glad you got to do that, John. It's very cool. Anybody here ever trade the dollar? No, not directly, only by correlation. As information, as an informative pair. That's the only way. GA for the chat pair says Cisco. Might trade on a Monday. Who are you? I don't know. It is very odd that I would ever consider trading on a Monday. It takes a very nice, beautiful setup. There are several present, so we'll just have to wait and see, Cisco. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I kind of have a feeling that we're not going to get an entry, that it's just going to take off as we start the month of October, continue our trends. So we're just going to have to wait and see. I kind of have this feeling I don't think we're going to get a 30 pip pullback and then a 30 pip drop. That's quite aggressive for euro dollar to do. We don't have the massive news events that would really kind of give you the vibe that we could get that pullback. So we'll wait and see. GJ, I think, might be the best option, or potentially dollar CAD. Euro and GU, I think, may just not pull back at all. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Can you send the Discord link? Absolutely, my friend. Let me jump over here and get the Discord link. Copy that, and then we're going to jump over here to the YouTube chat. We'll pop that in there. There you go. There's the Discord link right there. NFP, where accounts go to die. That's this morning. That is it. John, what is this dollar you speak? John says that weekly fair value gap has already been filled in on the futures on the ES. Oh, good to know. Good to know. Bespoke dropping ACAP as a broker. They're no longer an option. Oh, so it's just Think Markets. Where did I miss that? I have not been on, I swear to you, I have not been on any kind of social media pretty much all weekend, Discord or otherwise. So if that's the case, that's unfortunate because they do have great execution. And I have not had any experience with Think Markets, so I'm not sure what their... Yesterday at 3:30, we will no longer be offering ACAP as an option for our brokerage. The feed is far too easily gamed and taken advantage of by bad actors. For now, we will be offering Think Markets whilst we work on another broker deal. Any ACAP accounts that are active currently, please continue to trade as normal. If there are changes, we will announce. It's key that the brokers we onboard all have their own in-house liquidity to be able to keep their feed far more secure. Understand that for scalpers, this may be a little frustrating, but it's a decision that's been needing to happen from a business standpoint. Further updates on new brokers will be announced as and when we have made decisions on which ones we chose to onboard. Have a great trading week. Well, there you go. I'm not terribly shocked by that announcement, quite honestly. Because ACAP has been kind of the bane of many prop firms' existence and a big issue for manipulation across many different firms. Many firms can use ACAP, and all of them can have massive amounts of manipulation, slippage, spread manipulation, all that kind of stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that they're getting rid of that. But it is a little sad because the execution on it with Bespoke, as they've not been manipulating any of that, has been outstanding. So it'll be interesting to see who they find and if they can get back to the same execution they've had. We'll see. TBD. But I'm glad they're getting ahead of it. And I'm glad they're not going to let it become a issue for themselves or any of their traders for future issues. So that's good to hear, actually. Assume you would know, Max said, why in Discord. Yeah, just sorry, Cisco. I swear I didn't talk with any of the other partners all weekend. I didn't talk with Max. I didn't talk with Kaler. I haven't talked with anybody since we got off the stream Friday. I basically have been off social media. Just a couple things I got on and looked at and retweeted and stuff, but I'm just catching up with everything right now. So that's the first I've heard of it, and that's the explanation they gave. What's up, Saeem? Welcome in, my friend. Seasonally, ES starts bearish and ends bullish. Yes. So for the last quarter, we would anticipate a small dip on the indexes, but I would anticipate in November and December things turning bullish seasonally. That's typically the way it does work. Cisco says, I've used the Think Markets on the comp account. Generally okay, but ACAP spreads were better sometimes. More noticeable on pairs like, oh yeah, your cross pairs are probably going to be where it shows up, like GN and EA. That's probably true. The majors probably are going to be okay to trade without any of that. John says you all could just trade futures and not have to worry about any of that. Just saying. John popping off early, shooting his shots over the bow of the Forex Pro Firm traders. I'm actually looking at the Top Step Challenge. I saw that you said in the Discord that you were probably going to be getting a Top Step. I also have been looking through the Top Step Challenge stuff for futures and am considering adding that to the trading portfolio, the Venator family trading portfolio. So still doing some investigation on it and seeing if I want to jump into that or not. But it would allow some live executions actually inside TradingView while we're doing it. So I'm still considering it. I don't know. But from a future standpoint, I feel like Top Step is, from what I can see, I think Top Step may be the best option. I know there are others out there, but I'm still weighing my options on that. So you might have a fellow futures trader here with you as well, John. What's up, Red Ezekiel? Welcome in, my friend. Saeem says, does that mean our TradingView chart will be different from MT5? If you have, if you still have MT5 and you're still trading 8-cap, they've said nothing changes. All accounts that are on 8-cap, until they say otherwise, you just keep trading 8-cap. It's just not going to be for any new future accounts. And probably once you pass a challenge, they may just take that option off the table and move you over to a different broker. Probably Think Markets, because that's the only other one they have right now. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But for now, your TradingView 8-cap chart and your MT5 should look extremely similar to each other. Science says, I'm thinking of switching to futures. Seriously, let me know. I'm looking for someone to hold my hand. John, you don't need any hand holding, man. You're just, it's just trading. It's just trading. Like I saw, Camo was in the Discord and he took his first trade on his live account and he was, talking about literally shaking. And there's no difference between trading your personal funds and trading a challenge or any other thing. You just trade. I have a tweet coming out later today. Like there's the difference between you trading demo and you taking a trade on your challenge. It's all mindset. It's all emotions. It's all just managing your psychology and what's going on between your ears in here. Trading is trading. And you just trade it. The only thing that changes is your risk management. So you're going to have tighter drawdowns to work with. And so you just need to lower whatever it is. I don't know what you're risking on your personal accounts, but you just need to set it up so that if you hit your max losing streak, and you should know what your max losing streak is over your last 100 trades, whatever your max losing streak is, take your drawdown and divide it by your max losing streak. And then that's your risk percentage, and then drop it down a little bit more so that if you hit your max losing streak, you haven't violated your drawdown. That may sound confusing, but basically all it means is you want to risk enough. You only want to be risking an amount that if you were to lose X number in a row, your max losing streak, you still won't have violated your account drawdown limit. So if it's 3%, 5%, 10%, whatever it is, you don't want to hit your max losing streak. If you hit your max losing streak over your last 100 trades, you have that data. Whatever your maximum losing streak is, you want to keep your risk under that so that you can still have a little bit of drawdown. Like we are right now, we're inside of our 10% drawdown limit on this 100K phase 1 challenge. I think Top Step is just a one phase. I think it's just hit your profit target and you're funded. So the accounts that we're trading with here on these Forex firms, all of them are 2-step challenges, which means you have to hit a certain profit percentage on phase 1, and then you go to phase 2 and you have to hit another profit percentage, which is smaller than phase 1, but you still have to hit a different profit percentage, and then you get funded. Versus I think the Top Step futures program is just a 1-step challenge. You hit your profit target, you become funded, and then you get to split the profits on those funded accounts. So you just keep trading. That's it. Just keep trading. Take the trades that you take. Use whatever risk parameters it is that you need to not violate your drawdown limits, and then just trade. I think the only other weird thing about the futures side of the prop firm space is I think there's some consistency rules that I'm still trying to get my head around. Like you can't make more than I don't know. There's some random weird rule about you can't have, if you have a big day, like let's say you consistently are making, let's say $500 a day. Let's just say $500 a day. That's what you're making whenever you're winning. And then you have a day where you make $2,000. They will tell you, no, we're not going to pay that out. That's above your consistent watermark line, I think. Now, I don't know that to be true. That's a very general, basic statement. I've got to figure that out. That's one of the things I'm looking into right now is the consistency rules for the futures firms, to see what they say about that. But that could be an issue for me. Like if you're a good trader and, let's say you're taking 1 or 2 trades a day, and when you're winning 50% of those, but one time you win both of them and you win twice as much that day as you did before, I think there's a potential that they say, no, we're not gonna, that's too much. We're not gonna, that's outside of your normal trading history. So I don't know. I need to look into that and find out. That's the only kind of rule that I think that might be a little sketch that I would want to think twice about. Saim says, my backtesting data is on US 30 on the new strategy, and US 30 is similar to S&P, but I don't know what is all about contract sizes. Futures prop firms are just more reliable than Forex props. So futures are just more regulated. They don't you don't have any of the Forex prop firms. There's some regulation issues that don't exist that do exist with futures. Also, there's no spread on futures. It's just the price is the price. So they are making money from other ways, commissions and such, not on spreads that you get on Forex. The infrastructure. Yeah, there's some questions about the infrastructure. You got to pay. I think there's a monthly subscription of some kind. I don't know what it is. I'm still getting into it. The whole thing is just a simulation anyway. Basically it is. You're trading. You're not actually trading a live account. It's just whether the firm you're trading with has the option to use your trading data to capitalize on their own personal accounts, but they're not actually giving you a set number of dollars to trade with in a live market. They're all demo accounts, 100%. And if they use that to trade off of their accounts, whether it's taking the trades you're taking or whether it's reverse trading the trades you're taking, that's all within their own prerogative to decide how to use your trading data in the best interest of the firm. So for you, it doesn't matter. It's just trade. And if you make profits, they're going to pay you out. Consistent rules would suck for swing traders. Yeah, it would. Doesn't seem like it's built for that type of trading. What's up, Lee? Welcome in, my friend. Camo says the drawdown thing is kind of new to me compared to trading a personal account. That's why I'm kind of irritated thinking about it. You just need to trade, and you just need to be risking a certain percentage on each trade. And you need to keep that percentage the exact same on every trade. Otherwise, your risk-reward ratio gets all out of whack. So if you're going into a challenge, you need to decide what is the risk amount that I want to risk per trade. And it needs to be the same from beginning to end. Otherwise, your edge is gone. You need to be able to win if you're doing a 1-to-2 risk-reward ratio, a 1-to-1.5, a 1-to-3, a 1-to-5, whatever your risk-reward ratio is. You need to be winning X number of reward more than when you lose. So whatever your 1R is, 1R is your risk percentage. So if it's 0.5%, 1%, 1.5%, 2%, whatever your risk percentage is, you need to determine that before you take your first trade. And then you need to let that percentage play out. Don't change it. Unless you get really close to your drawdown limit, which we've done here, we've reduced our risk by half. Unless you get close to your drawdown limit, you should not be changing your risk percentage. This is my risk management philosophy. I will die on this hill. Your edge in the marketplace is built around your risk reward ratio. And if you're constantly changing your risk reward ratio, you're not going to, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Because when you hit a winning trade, if that's the trade you decided to lower your risk amount on, and that was the winning trade you took, you just shot yourself in the foot to either get out of all of those losses and recoup those losses, or get out of drawdown, or whatever it is that you need to be doing. So you can't be changing that. So determine before the challenge starts, what is my risk percentage I'm risking? Is it 0.25%? Is it 0.5%? Is it 1%? Whatever it is, determine what it is, and then you're going to use a lot size calculator based on the size of your stop loss. And then that's going to be how much you risk every single time you take a trade. The lot size will change every trade because the stop loss is going to change every single trade. So, but the risk has to be the same. So whatever that risk amount is, if you want to be able to lose, let's say your max losing streak, or let's say if I lose 10 in a row, I'm going to lose the challenge. So divide how much your drawdown limit is by 10, and then that's your risk percentage. You're going to risk whatever it is, $100, $125. It just depends on the account size. GJ getting a little bit of a pullback here. We'll see how it, we'll see. We need to do a new chat pair. I saw GA for a chat pair for the week. Yeah, last week was dollar CAD. So we need a new chat pair that we can analyze this week. So you guys put in, I saw Cisco said GA pound Aussie dollar. If there's other options, throw them in the chat, and then we'll do a poll and we'll see what our chat pair for the week is going to be. GU also starting to get a little bit of a pullback, EU as well. Again, we're just going to be watching and see what happens here. What happens here? I'm just trying to get back on some lower time frames here on all these pairs real quick. Already here, that's good. Good. All right. $49 a month for Top Step. I guess that's for their, what is that, the smallest account size that they offer, or is that just $49 a month no matter what account it is, John? Brad, can you give me a little bit idea about contract sizes? So in Forex, you have lot sizes. So you're going to be, one lot is 100,000. So let's say euro dollar, right? Dollar pairs, a lot is worth 100,000. That's I'm not sure what the specific contract size is that you're buying when you buy a contract, one contract. And then you have mini contracts, and then you have e-mini contracts. So each of those contract sizes are going to be different sizes depending on what instrument it is you're trading. I am still learning the contract sizes as well. So I'm probably not the professional. John actually may be able to help you more than I can in understanding the contract sizes. Matthew Hepsop, I've always been confused how Forex props can offer CFDs to U.S. traders despite CFDs being banned in the U.S. Is there an explanation for this? Only in that if you're trading with a prop firm that allows you to trade that instrument, you can trade whatever instrument it is because this is demo trading. And they're not true futures. John says, so is it bad if I don't have a mechanical risk reward? It's not that it's bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. I think that's a poor word to use. Typically, I look for support resistance levels and work level to level. If the level doesn't make sense for an acceptable risk reward, I don't take it. No, I don't think that's bad. I do think, though, you need to have to me, it's more important about the set risk percentage more than it is about the risk reward ratio. You want, if your trading plan says, I'm not going to take a trade unless it's a minimum of, let's say, 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2, I'm not going to take a trade. Your risk percentage needs to stay the same so that when you do win, you are winning more than when you lost, if that makes sense. That's the main thing to me, John, is not changing the risk percentage. Whether the risk reward ratio changes because your trading plan says it should change, that's a totally different ball game for me. So I'm going to keep the same risk percentage every time. And if one trade I win 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2 or 1 to 2.5 or 1 to 3 or whatever it is based on level to level like you're trading, then that's fine. But the risk percentage is what should not change. That's what I am calling for. Alpha says, let's be real, futures trading is not meant for newbie traders. Even with a really solid strategy and with years of experience, you can have some crazy losing streaks in the futures world. John says, oil for the chat pair. He says, why is that? Why would it be any different than Forex? Most Forex, I can find a corresponding future. Yeah, you can trade the euro future. You can trade the pound future. You can trade the CAD future. You can trade all of these. They're called something different, but the price action is very similar to what you see right here. He is correct on that. Muhammad says, basically, if I used an EA to calculate the risk, then I will be fine. Yes, correct. You should be. In most of the like TradingView, if you're trading futures and you were using that, you can tell it what risk percentage you want, and it will auto calculate the contract size for you. An EA is an expert advisor. It's just what you would attach to your MT5 or MT4 account, John. It's just it could trade for you like a bot, or it could just be a calculator that, like I use. I drop the lines. I use an EA. It's just something that attaches to lives inside of my trading platform that I can use to auto calculate lot size depending on how big my stop loss is. John says, that's a good question. The main problem with futures is finding the right bias and the real direction on the market. Sometimes you can see fake movements without any reason. Futures, I mean, again, it's all just trading. You're trading price action. For me, I'm trading I'm trading from liquidity to liquidity or level to level. And I'm looking for a solid 1 to 2 per trade. MT5, MT4, those are just the trading platforms like AMP or Trade-of-8 or NinjaTrader or whatever it is, whatever trading platform that you use to execute your trades. For Forex, the majority of people use MT4 or the quote unquote newer version, even though it's really old, MT5. It's just the platform on which you execute your trades. So I don't know what you're using, Tradovate or AMP or NinjaTrader or whatever it is that future traders use. It's just MT4, MT5. Those are the two main trading platforms for Forex. TradingView is not. TradingView is just a charting platform that brokers can use for their traders if they want to execute trades. So I guess it is a trading platform. It doesn't have to be. It's just a charting platform for most people, but there are some brokers that allow you to use TradingView to execute your trades. So yes, in some ways it is like that. Then that's perfect. Then yes, you can use, then TradingView is basically your MT5 or MT4. And I think TradingView should let you auto calculate your, like you can put in your risk before you execute a trade, and it should auto calculate your size. I mean your lot size or contract size. There are not many Forex firms. There are a couple Forex firms that are trying to integrate TradingView, but currently it has not become a thing. Simon says, for the past week, I've been only trading demo, catching 20 handles and getting out from the market. Only one losing trade, but I'm really skeptical about the spread on props as I only risk 5 to 10 handles. Any suggestions on this? That's why futures trading is probably your better option, a futures firm, because you're not going to have the spread. It's just execution. There is no spread. That's why if you want to trade US 30 or S&P or NAS, it may be better to use a futures firm for you. Or just deal with knowing you're going to deal with spread if you're going to stay with your Forex prop firm. And you're just going to have to account for that in your trading plan, where you're going to have to place your stop loss, how that's going to affect your entries, and so on. That's really the only suggestion I would have for that. Gold coming back up here to a nice little breaker here on the 30-minute little order block. We'll see how it responds to this. I'm not taking this trade on gold. You know I don't. I just only had this up because somebody had asked about gold and the chart was already up. Very quick analysis here. And we'll see how it responds up as it reaches back up into this fair value gap and this breaker and order block. Small little fair value gap up inside there. I don't know if it's going to respond to that at all, but interesting setup there. On gold, we'll see. For you gold traders, keep an eye on that. I saw another statistic. Another prop firm said gold continues to be the pair that people fail the most challenges and lose the most funded accounts with. And he's shocked that people still try to trade it all the time. Same. I don't understand the fascination with it. But everybody they think it's this sexy pair that if you don't trade gold, then you can't be a good trader. Dollar continuing just to rip higher here. Doesn't look like it wants to give any kind of a pullback today into that breaker. I would be very surprised at this point if it makes a 30 pip rip higher here. That's a big rip for euro. Pound, it's like a 30 or 40 pip rip. Pound wouldn't surprise me if it made a big rip up, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. It just has that vibe of like, I know that you see how pretty this breaker is, and I'm not going to let you have it. That's kind of the vibe it's giving off to me right now on a Monday. It depends on how you define good trader. True enough. Hey, everyone who has won a 10K challenge, if you're on the stream and you have won a 10K challenge, will you let the chat know what's going on with that challenge? If you've passed phase 1, if you're in phase 2, are you in drawdown? Have you lost the account? Just give us a quick update and let us know how those free challenges are coming along. I would love to hear some updates on that. John says the problem with that gold setup is that you have settlement significantly higher. Price action tends to return to settlement unless it doesn't. It tends to unless it doesn't. Yeah. Nah, if you look on the 4-hour chart, there's definitely an obvious fair value gap above that it would probably want to rebalance. Daily fair value gap even above that. So yeah, no, I'm all with you, John. That's why I was saying I wouldn't just jump in on that trade right there. There's some obvious liquidity here at the lower swing level down here on this weekly level here. We traded through and blasted through this large fair value gap last week. So any pullbacks we do get back up into these levels, then I would definitely think you're going to have some more gold weakness, especially if the dollar is going to be bullish. But I agree with you. I would not just want to jump in on that gold trade because it's hitting that order block. There are some large sell side imbalances up here. In fact, this breaker here on gold might be a better long-term weekly play, looking for what happens as it reaches up into this breaker right here. So this last down move, we ran up, we grabbed sell side or buy side, and we've had a quick displacement down from Friday's level there. Do have some nice relative equal highs up there. It may want to reach back up into there, but this 1 hour order block, it could hold and send price lower, absolutely. But it wouldn't surprise me, John, also if it wants to get a little bit higher for the week, put in a weekly high maybe tomorrow up here, and then roll over. But all I was pointing out was that this was a breaker block. There was a run of liquidity displacement through, coming back up into that now. So I'm not trading it for sure. Shaib, still 5% drawdown. Cisco in phase 2, 1% drawdown on phase 2. Last week I was 7. Well, hell, man, you made 6% in a week. That's pretty freaking awesome. Matthew Hope was up 4%, but currently back at break even. All good information, guys. You guys are doing great. The fact that you still have all these accounts is a win in my book compared to the way most people treat those free challenges. You guys are doing great. So keep up the good work. Alpha Bridge says the prop firm CEO also said that 60% of traders passing challenges only with news trading. Imagine A booking those traders and everyone complaining about A booking, B booking. It's a joke. Yeah, if 60% are passing on news trading, I don't know how they could ever be profitable as a prop firm trying to A book those traders. That's ridiculous. The problem with all gold setups is that it's gold. 100% agree, Cisco. Also, the problem is that the opening range gap would be above that. Yeah, it would be. Alpha, wow, that's insane, 60%. Matthew Hope says, I won another 10K challenge yesterday as a placed third in Bespokes poker tournament. Dang! Matthew doesn't have to buy any challenges. He's just the win the account challenge trader guy. Good for you, Matthew. The poker tournament, I'm assuming it's No Limit Texas Hold'em, is what is the tournament? Like how many people were in the tournament? Give me some stats on how that tournament went. Like what were the levels? How quickly did the blinds raise? What did you start with for your chip count? I'd love to hear some of the poker stuff. I love playing poker. Camo says, I'm currently testing the waters for the first time receiving a funded account, trying to adjust. So far, so good. Try to trade EU on London, 0.5 lots only, up $12. Camo, I know that you're just getting used to that, so I think that's great. You need to get comfortable with it. So if you just need to take some small 0 point something lot sizes just to kind of get a feel for how that works, I understand. But don't wait too long. If you have a good trading plan, and you have a good trading system, then, just trade the account. It's a free account, man. I know that it could be life-changing money for you to get funded, and even just, making $100 or $200 could be a significant, crazy amount for you. So I understand why you feel those jitters. But at the same time, understand this is just a demo account. It's not real money yet. It's not real money. It's just, they just want to see, can you trade? Can you trade? That's what they want to see. Show us you can trade. So your confidence and your ability and understanding how you trade is the most important factor here. You're just trying to show someone else that you know how to trade. That's what's on the line, really, is your ability to execute. That's what they want to see. Can this guy execute? Don't worry about all the other stuff. Trading is just trading. That's why trade copiers are so nice. You can just set up an account. You don't have to look at it. You don't have to see it. You can just paper trade the way you paper trade, and it's going to get copied over, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. Alpha says, yeah, that's why most prop firms... let me fix something here real quick. There we go. That's why most prop firms don't even care about a booking. They would be an instant bankruptcy. Basically, yeah. Gabriel Eppolito. Hi, the setups are not working. Question. They do work sometimes, and sometimes they don't. So it's basically over the course of a large sample of trades, at least 100, the setups work at least 50% of the time, if not higher, for me. So currently we are not getting the setups to work, and that's just a statistics and probability factor, quite honestly. So they do work. They work great. In fact, had we not been swerved by pipettes, we would be probably would have reached more funding already, as the viewers here can attest. The analysis is, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but the analysis on the breaker setups is pretty accurate. The entries may not be super accurate for the sniper entries that I look for, but the analysis overall and the breaker setup absolutely does work out. But the chat can tell me if I'm wrong about that or not. They're the ones that have watched me do this for the last 100 days. So Cisco says, I tried the poker tourney a while back once, but didn't get far. 218 people. Well, that's a pretty good sized tournament, man. 200 people. Dang, every 5 minutes? 5-minute blind raises? Are you kidding me? Boy, they definitely are all about the gambling mindset, pushing you and instilling in you the desire and the need and the necessity to take unnecessary risks with 5-minute blind raises. My Lord. My Lord. Yeah, John says, I love playing poker. What kind? Texas Hold'em? It's Texas Hold'em, I believe. And Cisco says, analysis is great, in my opinion. Thank you, Cisco. Chat pair. I've only seen oil, and I've seen GA. Those are the only pairs that I've seen offered in the chat today. So if anybody else has a chat pair they'd like to see this week, put it in the chat and we'll do a poll here and see what we're going to do. We're not getting any kind of retracement here in the early New York session. We're just into the 8 o'clock hour, so we'll see if we get a pullback at all. But I just have that feeling where it's just like price wants to run to liquidity without giving any kind of retracements. The indexes here, interestingly enough, looking at potentially pulling back into the opening gap here for a potential sell on the indexes here. You've had a run of buy-side liquidity, the breaker, fair value gaps, the opening gap. So NAS, SP, US 30 all have very similar setups where London grabbed some buy-side and then displaced lower through those opening gaps. So potentially have some interesting plays here on the indexes up in these areas here on NAS, S&P, and US 30, all extremely similar setups as they look to take out last week's low. That's where the eyeball is at for me for the next levels of liquidity on the indexes. So we'll another potential plays for that as well. These other pairs, though, just don't look like they want to give some pullbacks. We'll see. We've got some buy-side liquidity, got some fair value gaps, obviously breakers. These lows last week are where I think we're going to run to this week. So we remain bearish on foreign pairs crossed with the dollar. That's what we're looking for. To be fair, Brad, I think partly it's to speed the game up. Also, it would take ages. Yeah, no, I get that. They want, with 200 people, if you waited 30 minutes or an hour for blind raises, that would literally be like an 8-hour tournament. Nobody wants to sit online and play for 8 hours. So I understand why they're doing it. It's like it's a speed round tournament. So people are going to have to, you're going to have to get super lucky and you're going to have to take some chances. You're not going to be able to play your opening range very often. You're going to have to expand your opening range to take some trades in a 5-minute tournament. GA, UJ, US 30, NAS, oil. All right, let's see. I've seen a couple of, Cisco said GA twice. Galaxy says UJ, Ashok says US 30. We've had a NAS. What we could do, well, we already look at the indexes, so I'm going to leave US 30, S&P, and NAS out of that because we look at those all week long anyway. There's another vote for GA. So I've seen UJ, GA, and oil. So let's just do those. We'll do those three. I'll start a chat. I'll start a poll. Here we go. What's the chat pair for the week? We'll go GBP, AUD. We'll go USD, JPY. And for John, oil. There you go. Chat pairs up. Put your votes in. I'll give you 2 or 3 minutes and then we'll see how it plays out. Mondays, we typically don't do a super long stream. We're just kind of getting a feel and a vibe for how the weekend went, talking through our weekly analysis, where our draws and liquidity will be, what our higher time frame biases are. If we see some setups, we might watch for a little while. But I imagine, we'll do another 30 minutes here today. Mondays are typically shorter. So we'll stay on for just a little bit, see how this 8 o'clock candle starts to print. And then we'll see how the trade goes. Good Lord. My goodness. LOL. Many of you have seen LOL here in the chat. And I know the last couple days, some people have been like, hey, where's LOL? I know John's been asking. I just got a message from him today. He says, hey, Brad, how are you? Sorry for disappearing. We are having civil war here in my country. So electricity and Wi-Fi connection is spotty and often not available. So that's where LOL is. Thoughts and prayers. I mean, you hear messages like that and you instantly become grateful for whatever non-Civil War situation you live in currently. Because there are people around the world that live in that kind of stuff and experience that on a daily basis. And that's just mind-blowing to me. Like, I cannot wrap my head around how that the world is so broken that still happens. It's just mind-blowing to me. So that's where LOL is. Just got that message from him. So thoughts and prayers to him, man. I think he's somewhere in Africa. I'm not sure if it's West Africa or East Africa. Nigeria, Ethiopia, Kenya. I'm not sure. There's some from South Africa. I don't think there's a civil war in South Africa right now. Where is let's just do civil war in Africa 2023. A war between the Sudanese armed forces and the paramilitary rapid support forces in Sudan. Sudan civil war spiraling out of control. That was August 15th. It looks like Sudan. Potentially Sudan there. Here's the countries in 2023 that are experiencing civil wars currently. Afghanistan, the Central African Republic, Ethiopia, Libya, Mali, Somalia, South Sudan, and Syria are all experiencing civil wars. Jeez. My gosh. I think I don't know, man. It sounds like maybe Sudan. He did seem to be fine. He didn't say he didn't give me any indication that he was in any danger, just updating me on why he's not been around and where he's at. So, I mean, again, that just makes you just count your blessings and extremely grateful for living in a situation where that is not your reality. I guess the truth is that could become all of our realities at some point. Praying that never happens, of course, but I mean, none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. We have only today, and we try to make the most of it and the best of it. And, what is, there's a famous Bible passage that says it's the golden rule, basically, do unto others as you would have them do unto yourself. Basically, if you loved people the way you love yourself, the whole world would become a better place if that's how mankind treated each other. Treat each other's the way you want to be treated. That basically takes care of 99% of the problems in the world. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. But man, I just so grateful that I'm not in that situation, and I will be praying for LOL. And I know there's a lot of those countries are war torn in general, where it's just one conflict after another conflict, a constant fight for power and control, and just all the other people are just caught in the middle of all that crap. Dollar definitely looks like it's just gonna rip higher for last week's high there. Not gonna give us a pullback. GJ, maybe we might get a pullback. That's going to be a pretty good sized pullback there for GJ too. Looks like the move has already happened. We have tapped into sell side liquidity here, barely, but we did tap into it. I still think these higher time frame lows down here are where we're probably going to reach for this week. Oh, all right. How's the chat pair going? What are we up to? Looks like UJ, 18 votes. There's still a few more people watching, so we'll give a few more people a chance to vote. Looks like UJ's in the lead here. Oil's just not the vibe for the Venator chat. GeoFX, yes. Thank you for that, man. Copy that golden rule. John says the coup belt describes the region Africa that has a high prevalence of military coups. The belt spans the continent and includes 6 countries. All these countries do not have a functioning government. Can't even imagine trying to figure out a way to live and thrive in that type of situation. Imagine trading in the middle of a gunfight. I mean, for real, that sounds like what he's actually going through. I mean, I don't know that he is. I don't know that he's around the actual conflict, but it does probably affect every other necessity in life. Like he's saying, electricity, Wi-Fi, internet, all that kind of stuff is probably affected in some way. Owen, what's up, man? How's everyone doing? Had a lecture for the first hour of the stream. What did I miss? Not much. We've just been chatting and chilling. We got some analysis going. We're looking for some setups on GJ. We've identified some nice breakers on GU and EU. We're just not getting any kind of pullbacks to participate. Looking at some potential pullbacks into the gaps for US 30, S&P, and NAS. So just kind of waiting for all that. Besides that, we're just catching up on the weekend and talking through whatever's coming up in the chat right now. So pound pulling back even. Looky here, making it a race. Pound Aussie and dollar yen are dead even right now. Oil lagging behind. Mr. Alfie says, trading at the best of times feels like I'm in the middle of a gunfight. Can't imagine it for real. Yeah, the pressure of trading alone is great enough to make you feel like you're in a battle. But then you actually add in explosions and bullets flying around, and it puts a whole new perspective on what actually matters in life. And it's not trading. Have you decided if you're going to incorporate your new strategy into the challenge? Not yet. I have not. I still need to refine it. I still don't feel comfortable taking it into a live market yet. I still want to try it on a couple different pairs. I want to continue to refine entry rules and things like that nature. So I quite honestly, I don't know that it's going to be ready by the end of the year, but and some of that's just based on how much time I put into it. It's not something I just sit and do all the time. It's something I do a little bit every day. It's not something that I do just constantly when I'm not trading. It's just trying to refine this strategy. So knowing how much time I'm personally putting into it and what I still want to try, it probably will be, it may not be this year. It may be, it just depends. But it wouldn't surprise me if I don't bring that out until 2024, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, the European team crushed. I saw some kind of like weird blow up with the caddies. What was all that about? I saw some video footage of caddies starting yelling at people or getting in trouble or something. I don't know what was going on. I have no idea what that was, but would love to know. I'm sure Owen can tell us. We're still in a tie. There's 21 votes. GA has taken the lead with only a few more people eligible to vote in the poll. That's hilarious. Sorry, I was reading a message from a friend of mine. That's hilarious. Oh, geez. I forgot that I don't have my other monitor up to make sure everything was going good. I was just getting it up. I usually have it on my phone going over here just to make sure the stream is functioning correctly on an alternate device. Owen says the U.S. caddy was being unsportsmanlike while Rory was lining up his putt. John, with the battle hymn of the Republic in the background. I'm grateful for the country Brad and I and others here live in. It is not perfect by any means, and we need to do everything we can to right the wrongs, but nonetheless, I'm grateful for my country. What's up, Chase? Welcome in. All right, it is a dead tie, and it looks like there are 25. 26 votes. Dollar Yen just took the lead, and I believe all of the viewers, there are the same amount of viewers as there are votes. So it looks like Dollar Yen. Unless, I don't know, can you switch your vote? Can you switch your vote? I don't know that you can. I think once you voted, you can't go back. It is what it is. The last minute clutch on UJ. I don't know. There's 28 votes now. So GA was in control. Then it was back and forth. Then it was tied. And now it looks like UJ's pulling out. Do another one with just those two. Oh yeah, I could force the oil people to pick a pair. Let's do that. We'll have a runoff. We'll have a runoff between GA and UJ. Whoa. And UJ. Here we go. All right, now it's just down to 2. So now all the oil people, the 2 oil people that voted, or whatever it was, we're going for a runoff here. We're going for a runoff. UJ out to a commanding lead. UJ is just crushing it right now. I don't know why I just did that. Dadgummit. I got rid of my US 30 on accident. US 30. There we go. Pull that back over here. Here's that gold trade we were talking about earlier today. Again, not taking that gold trade, but just looking at it from a breaker block, order block, fair value gap position. Price pulled right up. Didn't get the entry, but that breaker block is holding nicely. Nice little OTE off the last swing level. Into the 8:30 open here. Wondering what happens when if US 30 gets any kind of a Judas swing back up into this level here. And I mean that's S&P, but you could say the same for US 30. You could still get before last week's low. Nice. All of these are so very similar in their setups. Very interesting to see how those play out. GJ's starting to get a little pullback here, so coming back into that range. UJ confidently crushing the competition right now. GA, we're only 17 votes in. There's only 19 people watching, so it looks like GA's hopes are circling the drain. Poor GA. Oil's like RFK Jr., probably the best alternative, but you just don't get it. Brad, get a GA chart up. People need to see this beauty. UJ sucks. Cisco feeling a little burned by the UJ votes. Camo says gold sometimes like women, you couldn't understand it, it'll leave you alone. Yeah, the gilded gal has a way of tempting you in, suckering you in, and then just walloping you upside the head when you're not looking. We can pull up a GA chart. It's fine. All right. We'll say the chat pair. I mean, why not? Let's just do both of them. How about that? We'll go with UJ. Not sure why people want UJ either, but and then we'll add in, why not? We'll add in GBP AUD. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I need the Venator trading chart, and then we'll add in GBP. I can type. I know what I'm doing. Trust me. And then we'll add in this. All right, so let's just look up here on some GH stuff. Well, I mean, monthly chart is not looking great. Let's see. Last month, we took out last month's low. Very nice relative equal lows down here off last month's low. We failed to take that out. So that's definitely your initial draw on liquidity, I believe. These relative equal lows down here. We did close below last week's low and the week prior. Small little fair value gap above if you get any pop up into this fair value gap here. Would be looking to sell potentially there. I would think the low of the week is where we would be looking for. Let's see. I'm definitely bearish here. Bearish bias. You're coming back up into this 4-hour order block and fair value gap here. This is the weekly fair value, or yeah, the weekly fair value gap I was talking about. If it gets back up above Friday's highs, we'd be looking to sell that. 1 hour here. We've grabbed these lows down here are the relative equal lows that it left in place last week. I would be looking more for, if it does want to run up into this area, these highs, it's fine. This is the 4-hour fair value gap you're inside of right now. Uh, 30-minute. It's coming back up into a little breaker here currently. Big bullish run up through the Sunday open. Grabbing buy side liquidity. Kind of choppy. It wouldn't surprise me if you get another pop up into the 4-hour, maybe up into here, but I think for the week I would be looking down here for GA. And I would be looking for opportunities to sell that. So you might be getting another pull up into some of these highs. We'll see. And then get displacement. So I would just keep my eye on that for right now. UJ, obviously, we've taken out the buy side liquidity targets that we've had for weeks. We've done UJ a few times. I don't know if we get up into these. I don't know if those are all-time highs. I mean, from the year 2000, it's the all-time highs. So for the last 23 years, I don't know if we get all the way back up there. We do know Bank of Japan says in October they're intervening. They're not going to stand by and just watch their currency continue to weaken and weaken and weaken. So don't know. Obviously, the next draw on liquidity here we've already tapped into. And that leaves the future high, all-time high, decades-old high. Up above, we had a big gap up from Friday to Monday there. I mean, dollar's still bullish, so you would anticipate the yen still continuing to weaken, but it's not going to last that long. GJ pulling back up into this breaker here. GA is beautiful lately. We can move it down here. Get it with our Forex pairs. The problem with yen pairs is that they have double movement, but the volatility is good. Yeah. Cisco possible pop up, hence my short stop is now a break even. There you go. Bakong, good afternoon. Happy quarter four. Let's get it. Bakong, where are you from? What part of Africa are you in? Remind me, please. Alpha Bridge UJ all-time high was in 1990 or something, I guess. Crazy. Yeah, I think there was a further high up, but for the last 23 years, you're approaching from the start of the new millennia. We are reaching for all-time highs. What's up, Moby Dick? Welcome in. Haven't seen you here in a while, but welcome back, man. Alpha around 159. Yeah, South Africa. That's right. I couldn't remember. I knew you were from Africa. We were talking about where the Civil War was. We have a trader who's not been able to be watching the stream recently because of the Civil War going on in his country. We were trying to figure out where that was. We think it's Sudan, but we're not quite sure. This GJ trade is very tempting to take. It is very nice. Very, very nice here. You've had a run of liquidity. You've had displacement away. You've got your breaker, fair value gap right at the 50% line. Does it meet all the criteria? It does. Our higher time frame draw on liquidity is down here. So I kind of like it, man. I mean, we've been looking at it all morning. GU also starting to get a pullback up into this breaker block here. And the 30-minute is where I'm framing this. Down move, up move, run of liquidity, displacement, fair value gap inside of here. I'm not sure. EU doesn't, it has the same breaker. It's just not getting the same pullback currently. Not sure which one I like. They both are very good and look clean. GJ, I think I like better. Chat, what's your vibe? GJ or GU on the setup? I like GJ that took out very clean highs. GU did not. I mean, it did take out highs, but it did leave behind some relative equal highs up here. So I'm not. That's the only part of the GU trade that makes me like GJ a little bit better here. How do I not have... There we go. All right, it's Monday. I know it's crazy, but I set a sell limit there. This checks off all of my boxes. 182. 368 is my entry. 675 is my stop, and 708 is my TP. There we go. I got a limit order set there on GJ. I'm going to pop that over in the Discord here. Lee with the 3% gain on the 10K account. Way to go, man. I just saw that in the Discord. That's awesome. GBP, JPY. I don't think I've called out a pound yen trade in a minute. It's been a minute. Putting that up in there. Putting that up in there, we'll see. We've got a GJ pullback happening currently. GA also reaching up into some buy-side liquidity, so we'll see if we get any kind of reaction here. My orders are set. $30-minute or 15 both look really nice. So I have the fair value gap on the 15-minute is the one that I'm hoping it digs a little bit deeper up into that. It's touching the bottom of that breaker just now. I would like to see it give a healthier pullback from that move down. Would get it back up into a premium level and right into the OTE area here, and our stop is above the high of the OTE, above the highest fair value gap right here. That's kind of what we're looking for. We'll see if it plays out at all. No telling. We'll leave it there. Oh, goodness. It's been a minute since we've had a Monday trade. But why don't you ever trade the peso? The spread on the peso dollar pair is got to be massive, I would imagine. I imagine it's got to be pretty freaking crazy big. Well, guys, it's been a good Monday stream. Cue the credits. Roll the outro music. I think we're going to call it here. We've got our trade set up, identified. It was good to be back with you guys. As always, love hanging out with you guys here on the stream. We are going to get Owen on here. I need to do some technical background thingies to find out what's the best way to get Owen on. I want to get Owen on and let him tell his story, and we'll let him share his trading strategy with everyone. I know you guys are interested in hearing it. I am as well. So that is in the works. I don't know if it'll be this week, but it will be soon. I just need to do some technical investigations to see how to pull that off. But for now, hang out over in the Discord for sure. We'll be over there chatting it up with everybody. We'll see how this trade plays out, if we get swerved, if we get an entry. We're taking it. It fits our criteria. It's just another trade in the books. So we'll see how it plays out. Maybe it gets triggered, maybe it doesn't. Either way, You guys enjoy the rest of your Monday wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, especially if you're over there in those civil war torn countries. We'll be praying for you for your safeties. But for everyone, stay safe no matter where you're at. Count your blessings. Be grateful for what you do have. I know, as just listening to LOL's message today, just reminded of how grateful I am to be where I'm at. No matter where you are, we all have something we can be grateful for sure. So I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful that you're here. So enjoy the rest of your Monday. Stay safe. Happy hunting, guys. And we'll see you in tomorrow's stream. Adios, y'all.